Hello, this is See the I Am, and I am Alicia, and I am here just to talk about my spiritual journey. Everyone is talking about theirs, so I said, whoop, I'm going to talk about mine. And possibly you may connect, you may resonate with some of it, parts of it, not agree, disagree, doesn't matter. I'm just here putting things out because you may be experiencing some things, you may be stuck and be looking for a place to see it from a different perspective. That's what it is. So I've been on the spiritual journey for a while, doesn't even matter. But what I'm coming to realize right now is that with the spiritual journey, there's a lot of jargon and a lot of things that everyone's talking about and trying to meet, accept, and become and level up to and everything like this. And my thought process is the spiritual journey is really a change of your perspective. That's all it is having a different way to look at the same situation and just changing it from what you see it now, in looking at it from another person's eye or through another eye or through a higher level eye, right? So it's like nothing has really changed with me per se, other than the way that I see and receive things. So it's like I started at the level of an ant. I could only see what an ant can see. Then you get to the level where you see possibly what a dog's eye level can see. Then you get to the level where you see where a lion sees, and then a giraffe. And then finally you get to the level of where an eagle sees, where they see everything and they see it in a different way. And that's what, to me, the spiritual journey is just changing your perspective on how you actually see things, right? So what I've done is, not what I've done, but what Spirit has led me to do is to come to the conclusion for me, not for everyone, for me, but I am not to live in duality anymore. So I don't live in the place of right, wrong, up, down, in, out, backwards, forwards, rich, poor, none of that. Because as I evolved and changed my perspective, it was guided to just let everything go and let it be as it is. So I'm starting to experience this I amness, that this place of existing in this moment and just really living in this moment, nothing else, nothing in the past, nothing in the future, just in this moment. So I'm like, okay, so what does living in this moment mean? And then what was the perspective change that I had? Well, I had to go through understanding that I had to receive things without judgment. So I had to release judgment in everything, which hard to do. Yes, no, maybe, but I had to do that because when I'm living in this place of non-duality where everything just is as it is, what happens is I start to look at people differently, perspective shift. So now I see people when they come to me, I take them as they are. I do not judge where they are. I just receive them as they are. So what I'm understanding is everyone has some sort of either trauma, pain, shame, addiction, grief. Everyone's coming with something to the table. Whenever they enter your space, they're entering with their past. And they've made decisions based on things that have happened to them, things that have been said to them, and different beliefs that have been told to them. And so when they come to me, they're bringing all of that with them at the time. It is not my place to judge how they're feeling because they are right in what they feel. So see, everyone is right. There's no wrong, right. It just is. Everyone is coming to me as they are. I cannot judge them for experiencing the things that they have experienced before. I have to meet them where they are. So that way, when they come and I am judgeless, I just receive them. And then when I am receiving them, I'm receiving them and giving them the space to be who they need to be. Luckily, I have been able to be a person that is a safe haven for a lot of people that come with all of their traumas and everything, and they're able to just release in my energy, which is, that's important, and that's good. We kind of want people to be able to be safe, safe space to release things. But I have come to find out that that's kind of like my job, my gift on my journey, right? So when you're meeting people, when I'm meeting people as they are, knowing that I'm not judging them, it opens up a place where I can receive them as they are in the moment and let it be. The spiritual part of that, or the perspective shift of that, is in order to receive people without judgment and taking them as they are, you have to go and you have to remove judgment from who you are first. And that's what the spirit community calls shadow work. So we've been talking about shadow work, and I was like, I don't understand shadow work. I don't get it. I hear shadow, dark, whatever. That's what I'm hearing, but I wasn't really understanding. So shadow work to me is all of the things that you hide, all of the things you don't talk about, you don't speak about, things that have happened in your life that you're ashamed about, you fear, you've been told to believe in something that maybe at your core, it doesn't sit well with you, but you keep on going. Your shadow is traumas that have happened to you. It's also possibly things people have said to you, all of these things that you kind of push down that you don't want to discuss with anybody. Those are your shadows that you have to kind of you have to address. And that's the part, I think, in the spiritual journey that people don't do, because it is the hardest thing to do, to go and connect to your demons, if you will, to connect with all of the things that caused you pain, that caused you grief, that caused you embarrassment, shame, all of those things. That is the things that you have to tackle first before you can elevate to another level. So my living in this non-duality place has allowed me to actually go back and visit a lot of all of my traumas, my fears, my beliefs, the way people have treated me to make me feel sometimes insecure, feeling like I'm not worthy, all of these things. That's the shadow and things I had to work through. And it's important, because you cannot see people in their truth if you can't see yourself in your own truth. And that's why, how they say, you can't change anybody, you can only change you. So the first step to that is looking at your shadow self, looking at the things that you don't want to talk about, the things you don't discuss with your friends, the things that people don't know about you, the things that you cry about at night, the things that you worry about at night, and having a conversation with each one at a time. This, again, is time consuming. It's hard because a lot of times we don't want to go back to those places that have hurt and caused us pain. But what happens is, when you go visit that place, you forgive yourself for not being able to protect yourself while you were there, because you're holding on to this anger. You're mad at yourself because you allowed yourself to be put in this situation. You're mad at yourself that you allowed someone to speak at you this way. You're mad at yourself because you were in this place, that you wore this, that you said that, and you weren't able to defend yourself. And you've put that on you, and that's why you're still holding it. When you start to go visit that place, you will find out it was not your fault. You were just being you, who you are supposed to be, and someone came and either took advantage of that because of their pain and what has happened to them. So it's like you have to go back, forgive yourself for not being able to defend yourself at that time, because you didn't have the capability, you didn't have the maturity, or you didn't have the tools, whatever it was not your fault. It was the person who gave it to you, because they wanted you to experience what they are experiencing. So they gave it to you. So now they're like, oh, we can share this together. And now I feel better about that. But that's on them. So you have to give that back to them and forgive yourself for not being able to not experience whatever it was. Addiction, trauma, grief. It's all the same thing. So a lot of times what I did Different things would come up at different times as I'm going through the journey, during my spiritual journey. Things would come up, and I journaled, and I just free write, just write. But if there was something that I really wanted to address, I would write that down and ask myself, what is this? Why am I feeling unworthy? And then I have to go back and go into my childhood and see exactly what or who made me feel like I was not good enough. What happened to me? At what time? What event happened that made me start to feel like I wasn't good enough, kind of thing. And then I'd have to write it. Sometimes it was hard to actually get there, and I would have to keep asking different questions. Well, who was it? Was it family? Was it when you were with your mom? And I would go through different things with my mom. Was it when you were with your dad? And I would have to go through things, and sometimes it's all, sometimes it's both. Sometimes it's a friend. Sometimes it's a parent's friend or something that make you feel a certain way, or whatever the trauma is. And you have to go back and visit that uncomfortable place, and then forgive yourself for being there, and forgive yourself for not being able to protect you, because you were in a place that you were in your truth, and you were in a trusting place, and that is not your fault again. So you also, it's good to talk to yourself, because that will help you release some of the things. Start having conversations with yourself. So I would journal, turn out the lights, ask the questions out loud, and get the responses. And that started bringing me really close to my spirit team. And they would help me see things a little differently. And because that's what will happen when you start asking the questions, they will help you forgive yourself, and help you see that it wasn't you, and help you see that it was the other person. And help you start to heal. And that's what the healing is. It's really going to visit those uncomfortable places, and forgiving yourself, and giving yourself grace for having to experience it, and then giving it back to the person who gave it to you. And when you give it back, you start to understand that they didn't know any better either, that they were just doing what was done to them, and they didn't have the mindset to make any other choice. So you give it to them, and you leave it there. You don't have to have a conversation with them or anything like that. You just give it to them in the spirit energy, in the spirit realm, and that's why you write it down, or you voice it out loud. And that helps you kind of start to heal it. And then once you heal that one trauma, the next trauma comes and visits, and then the next, and then eventually you learn how to get through it really quickly. Excuse me. It's like you feel it coming, you know what it is, and you go, oh, this is how I felt. And then you go in and you do the work, and then you kind of are reborn again. So that's like the first place that I would say to visit. And that's the first place. And I'm coughing. They don't want me to keep speaking about it. Too bad. Sorry about it. This is where, this is the first place, or one of the steps to getting to a place where you are judgment free. And once you stop judging yourself, you stop judging others. Whew, it is such an uplifting and such a freeing place to be, when you don't worry about anybody else's space, because you're no longer worried about yours. You're not worried about all of that junk that's been going on in your head. And now you're not worried about theirs either. And then it allows you to just sit in the I amness, and allows you to receive in the moment, and allow people to be who they are in whatever trauma that they are, and allowing them to work at it. Because what happens is, when you start to heal that in you, then you're able to sit with that person who has the trauma as they're bringing it up to you, and you're able to sit with them, and in your way, you just give it back, and you say, I'm no longer going to receive it, because I've dealt with it. Now it's time for you to deal with it. And that's what the healing process is allowing you to be able to sit in it, give it back to them, and stay in that place without fear, without judgment, just knowing that you are that you are. That's the power of the healing process. And that's what allows you to elevate to certain levels, and then to start to experience a different life because you're healing all of the stuff that keeps trying to hold on to you. It's time to let it go. And if you are seeing this, and if you've stayed this long, there's something in you that wants to be free. And it's something that I have said, will say, that your higher self needs to hear. There's something about you that knows that there's something better out there, and it's trying to help you release these other things so that you can get it. Because I know you're tired, confused, just not feeling like you are your true self. Well, I'm here to help everyone line up to their truth. And I'm doing that by slowly telling my little stories and things that have happened to me. And I'll go a little deeper later. This one, I didn't want to go too deep because it's the first encounter. And while I am comfortable, I have to get comfortable with you. You have to get comfortable with me. And then I will reveal, as the universe tells me to, the different things that have happened to me and how I have recovered, overcome, and elevated. So with this channel, see the I am, see you surrender, and then you elevate, and then you evolve. And once you do that, you begin to see the I am in you, and you become the I am in your own life. And that I am is just being in the moment and free. And I think that's a place that we're all reaching for, but we just don't know how to get there. So as I'm still climbing on my journey, I'm kind of, I've done pretty well. I'm feeling really good about myself. I got a couple more lessons I have to learn. But for those that are beginning or in the middle, I would love to help and help you. It's like through a crossroads. Because if you are coming across this video and you have stayed, you're at a crossroad in your life, and someone, your higher self, is asking you to make another choice and choose you and become a new version of yourself. And I'm here to help that. So thank you for listening, and I will be back with something else. Have a wonderful day.